there is wind stitch, but like no one used it. LP, enjoy your lurk already. Yes, get some good sleep. Everyone please say goodnight to LP. Spamming a lurk there. I love your face, LP. Have some good rest. An exclamation mod love, please. Send that mod love to LP. Sleeping in green, Elsa. Sleeps in green, cries in shamrocks. Like think like the meme, like that shit. You learn more from you than I did. I know, Stormy, right? Like, and then you jump in and you start to understand Windstitch when you really dive in. But I'll tell you, the latest Windows, like the latest 2023 version, I think it got a little more confusing for some. I understand where they moved things and recollapsed it to, but it's not as obvious. I think there's some stuff that they could have tweaked a little bit better, given that it was a major update, because it had been like a couple years since the last one. But there's still no fucking resources on it. So I really do want to make a point of at least starting the YouTube Windstitch content, but I have to feel more confident in like editing, because I am slow at edits. I am so slow at edits. Cries in chat. Now you get it. Elsa, you really are tired, boo. Cries in Irish. You know? Sleeps in green, whatever. I think they're trying to they tried to, but they didn't bring it in the right direction. It's true. Look at this, okay? Look at the top. Those icons, the wall of them, like there's so many. And I'll tell you now, you don't need all of those. And then they collapsed backstitch down and it just feels weird. But like, this is not like this bar right here. If you look across, how many fucking icons? And maybe none of them make sense. Again, I know what they are, but like, it's not as obvious. I wish they took it in a, there's so many tools I could compare this to in like UIs. I won't, but I just wish there was some things they didn't decide to do. Because I think the last version we had, that bar was like, oh, I get it. The groupings were just, they were more fluid. Thank you. I didn't want to say it. And then Stormy said it. Yes. I wish they did that. They did make it more confusing and less user-friendly. And that's why, I mean, I'm thankful for some of the optimizations they did and some of the performance things. Like, there was some really weird shit they had. Then they made some bad decisions, like inserting images. And then the scaling from the corner feature went away. I'm like, what the fuck? That is so important for keeping the scale. Why do I want to stretch and skew my images? Like, oh, awful experience. Then he fixed that and I'm like, okay, that's back, but it's been a process. It's been a process. They haven't changed that major UI piece, and I don't know, maybe I would have done it different. But yes, like what you just said. The removable, I want the panels to float. I just want floating panels, please. Plus, I forgot to mention that I'm working on a project with Disney, and like, yes, I did read that in another stream. It's really exciting to me that I'd be hanging around with some spooky, some ghost or spooky. Can't spoil too much, but the mock number piece. Ooh, that is exciting. I'm so happy for you, Brickman. Super, super happy to hear that. And I believe you hit 2,500 followers on Instagram. I hope I didn't get misquoted. You hit it, right? $2,500 or 2,500 followers, not dollars, for fuck's sake. Anyway, mock number. You're not supposed to tell us, Brickman. No, you're not supposed to tell us. You said, little sneak. 25. Oh, you've already got. Okay, there you go. Congratulations on that. That's awesome. Pix, you need to meet Phoenix Fire Elemental or River. I know River Stitch. Are you kidding? Because they have Goddess as a pattern correcting. Their fiber work is gorgeous. I know who they are. Kid Angel, are you kidding? Are you kidding? Of course. They are amazing. I've known River Stitch for a while, actually. You want the truth? River Stitch is the reason that I was able to release this pattern. The Christmas ornament of Link on one side and the Triforce on the other. Because River Stitch offered their time to test stitch this and did all the color changes in all the rows, and then color change here, and just keep going until this part. But River Stitch test stitched it for me. And then I've got a couple more to give to them too. got like, you know, the Ninja Turtle swaps, right? Where you can choose your Ninja Turtle, like choose your colors, whichever one you want, whichever combo, and then the Mario one. But I haven't documented it yet. I know how to do it, but I got to get them the pattern. So River Stitch has been helping me with these. She's so quick, so quick. Nymph, welcome in. How are you, Nymph? I hope you're doing well. Shay with the party. How are you, lovely? Shay, now that you're here, because I did Happy Mail earlier, but you weren't, and I forgot to mention, it came in. So let me grab it. I was just finishing up this row 4 of the join, and I'm on 5. Yes, we are definitely on 5. Of course I know River. Are you kidding? River's an amazing sweet bean. River and I talk to in private and DM, you know, updates life stuff, private, whatever. I love River. I love River. River shared their story here, was like a few months ago, obviously, and all their personal things, and we were, you know, outpour of support for them. Because we're all family, basically, always, full time. You got a family here on Twitch, you know? Yeah, I love River. Oh my God, what am I doing? Where the hell is... There it is. Sometimes Chunky can be a little sneaky to find the stitch. We got it. Excuse me, no, you're fine. My brain is more dead than yours. Let's not compete. Danny, if things are a struggle, I know I read your pot in the Discord, your message. As my fucking autistic brain is having extreme difficulty processing emotions, and the breakup of the I know your long-term relationship that I talked about in Discord. Try not to go down the dark pit that is depression flare-up. Well, you know, it's gonna be a bit of time. I shared with you, I just got out of a decade-long relationship, and I'm still dealing with the emotions. But by the way, no one's expecting you to get over anything, first of all, including yourself. You think that's the first thing, but grievance and time and healing is not a race, right? It takes what it'll take. It'll be what it'll be, and it'll be a mix of things as much as you want it to be sorted, organized, or quiet, right? It may never leave. It may always be loud in your head and your brain and your body, and that's okay too. So although we seek some sense of, I hate this fucking word, you know, normalcy, and I fucking hate normal. I'm far from it and happy about that. But like our pursuit of something quiet or quieter, you know what? It's just time. That's all we have. It's just time. It's all we can do. So take the time you need. No one should ever feel rushed to get over anything. And just be your best selves. That's self-care. I think the longest thing I'll tell you is, and without, again, sharing too much, but a decade relationship is feeling like it was a waste. It wasn't. It was full of a whole whack of things, but knowing it didn't continue like that, it's like, fuck, like you really thought you had that person. You know, that for me is how I'm feeling now. It's not a waste. It's just, it feels like an emotional setback. That makes sense, right? But at the same time, did I really lose myself in the mix too? I think so. And it's time to get that person back first before I focus on anything and anyone, right? Like, I need to do me. Forget about that. And that right there is the toughest part, because you rely on someone so much, but you forget yourself in the process. So I feel that sense of calm or quiet is what I'm chasing, as loud as life is, and as quiet as it doesn't get. So I hope that helps you. I hope I can at least bring a vibe and smile up, but I'm dealing with things similar in my own way, and I empathize. Shay was hyper focused on playing Unpacking. Ooh, how is it? Forgot time to you shoot your... Take your meds, please, if you need to take them. Please. You're good. If you're tired, you know, a few people have said they're tired. It's also like, I don't know, how much sun are you getting? How much exercise energy, or how much you busting your ass if you're working? Total mood, friend. Total mood. Paramock I did a while back is now, is how big the new model. Oh, the dimensions. How big? Just give me the dimensions in chat if you can, Breckman, without hunting and research. What are the dimensions on the actual art? Love River. I do love River. What is the sun you it's this bright glowy thing that we don't get enough of when it's overcast or cloudy and shady days, because Elsa brings the shade in the chat, so we don't get much sun while we stream, but we try. But it's this mythical thing that usually would keep you warm, except when the shade is brought, you know. But that's the sun that I would speak of, whatever the hell that is. Okay. You can kind of see now that the legs are joined here, like where we joined them. The rows are blended now, and like we're starting to form, like there's no holes in the crotch. Now we're forming the waist, and this will continue up before the arms kick in. So like to frame the body, they'll get attached at some point, like depending on how high or how out they go. And then from there, we'll have the frame established, and then it's really the head helmet and like the knee pads, the chest pad, the visor with the rim, and there's just a lot of shit. It is, yeah, like you can see here, like we've sewn them together, we've connected the legs, right? But it's coming along. Size 6 is actually a lot of fun to work with, and I've been thinking of grabbing some more. Like there's some colors I'm really loving. Bulky. Super bulky is just a bitch because it snaps. If you pull too tight, snap. Whereas I find this is stronger for a size 6 versus a 7. I don't know. I'm just really loving the 6. It is very neat. Thank you. You're so neat. But it's been a fun to work with. I think you have to enjoy working with the yarn. Sometimes working with really tiny worsted weight, you know, like shit like this, because it's so tiny, your fingers can be more tense because you can work faster, but then you tire your wrists out. Like you'll feel the burn. So it's important to do like wrist exercises where you're like pulling your hand back to really stretch this muscle and relax it, because your hands are like this constantly. You're more clenched as you're gripping, so you hurt your wrists more. But with chunky yarn, I'm finding it much more relaxed because I don't have my hands as, you know, as tense. There's just more to hold, so it's easier. I'm still gripping, but smaller grip means, whoops. Let's try that again. I think we doubled up. Perfect. It just feels better. It's more comfortable. I don't like Nymph. This is where we just like piss at the sun and bright lights. Total mood, friend. Total fucking mood. But you know how drained we feel when we're like vitamin fucking D or vitamin E deficient, like because we don't get any sunlight. Hello. I get that feeling. The wife and I picked up these pen extensor donut, or sorry, exercise donuts. They're designed for climbers and they help with cramp from holding a pen. Yeah, like if you use a lot of shorthand or writing. I've been thinking of compression gloves. I'm not sold that I need them, but I don't want to be forced to have to need them just the same. Like sometimes it's nice when you take a break cross stitching, right? Versus crocheting can be just like, this isn't bad. Like, look at the size of this hook. Like it's like holding onto a knife. So I'm a vampire. You too? Are there some night hawks and night owls in the chat? Maybe. Just trying to get more of this yarn untangled. Just need some of this ball because I don't have a yarn bowl. God, there we go. But I'm really loving the colors so far for the Mando. The light gray, dark gray, brown, the black. They had an asphalt for the cape, and I looked at the picture. I'm like, this is wrong. This is wrong. It should be like black. It's a thick. It is very thick. A little thick boy. We still have to stuff it too. Oh, you know what I should have done as well? Oops. What I forgot to do was tie off this one loose tail. No, I did that one. Where is it? There it is. I forgot to tie off this center one. I've already done like 6 rows since this knot I should have tied way back here. You see? Okay, there's one. We'll do a triple knot. It's only 2 a.m. It is 9 a.m. Eastern here. 9 a.m. for my East Coasters. People on the Pacific are just getting off work or having dinner. But my Central folks are probably just wrapping up theirs. I'm gonna do a couple knots. I'm always paranoid with this shit. Do not come undone, please. It's 8:09 p.m. here. Okay, so you are Central. You are the Central. And then our mountain folks. And then there's our Hawaii folks, which are like way in the past. Way in the past. I'm gonna do one more. Cool. And I don't need all of this tail. I know people use it as fill, but cool. All right, now that we've fixed that, roll this back up and we can continue on. Cool. And perfect. And untwisted. Done. Kid Angel. I had started the small version of the Mando, the worsted. Do you want to see? For those who may have not seen this, do you want to compare size with me? Of course you do. Size queens. Here was the chunky helmet, right? This thing here. If you did it in the Ami size, like behind me, there's your comparison. There's the chunky size 6, and this is size 4. Look at that. You can see like much. This would be the Ami toy size. This is the thick boy. So if you're new to crochet, that's what we doing. Yeah. So it would have been like this. This is where all the body parts are done. But yeah, that's the difference. Just from changing, it's the same pattern. Just change your yarn and change your hook. That's all. I'm not changing anything at all from this. I'm just following the pattern with a different hook. So it's kind of like the difference of this hook here. You can see this size versus this. You can see the two right there. So obviously much different. This is the tiny shit, and then this is the larger. This isn't the biggest hook, but you can see just from changing your hook and your yarn, you can pull off a bigger Ami. And that's how we make them. Are you gonna make him a little... Okay, stop it. So there are some really fucking cute Grogus. Like, I feel like I've seen... In my last few years on Twitch, I have seen like a shit ton of Grogus. I can't tell you. Maybe 50. So now it comes down to which of the Grogus would you do? Because they're all good. But some of them are like, oh, that is fucking cute. And then there's the, oh, that's the chibi version. That's the anime version. That's the cutie little doll version. There's the miniature. That one is accurate as fuck, but a lot to sew. That one's pretty straightforward. It's cute. Like, you start to get picky as a person who does patterns or creates patterns, and you start to be like, which one's the most that I would likely do? And what size would I do? And then you start to think. So eventually, when you fall in love with the version, that's the one you do. Don't change your mind. Stop it. Stop that right now. Go with the one that your gut said to do. Because you fell in love with that and it caught your eye for a reason. You start second guessing yourself, good luck. You won't pick. You won't pick at all. You'll be like, yep, my brain won't help me out today. It was nice. That's a quarter sub and a full sub with extra meat. I mean, you can think in subs, right? But anyway, it's just figuring out which ones you want to do. Like, I love the patterns that I use. I never looked at chibi stuff at all. I always wanted accuracy, right? The most closest to the thing. Kirby, Charmander, whatever. Boo, Mew, Bombs, all of it. And then I was like, I actually started to appreciate the chibi stuff. Because it was easy, it was straightforward, and I really fell in love with it when I started doing the keychains. You know, because the black eyes are easier than needle felting. They're just quicker. Sure, I can needle felt for you, and I can stab in those small details, like Charmander here on the right. But I could also swap for little chibi eyes too. Because that little details in the eyes, the sparkle, the blue color flicks, the white edge, it just takes a while, that's all. You just gotta be careful. But it's nice to be able to do the chibis too. You know? It's nice to do that sometimes. So, no, you're a cute kid, Angel. Connie, how are you, Connie? Happy Friday Eve, sweetie. How are you doing? I hope you're well. We just finished the 5 of the join. Now we're on 6 of the body. How have you been, Connie? What's going on? I hope you've been well. And there we go. But like the Moogle, let's pick on that. Yes, you can do the eyes like this with the half moon, right? But you can also put little chibi black eyes in too. You could totally do that. Totally little cutie chibis. Or you could do these, or you could just do yarn. That's needle felted. That's me stabbing in the semicircle to get that shape, right? And then all the sewing, the keychain, the bauble, all that. So it's a different style. For me, it's just trying them out. I'm glad you're doing well, Connie. Any plans for your weekend, or are you getting up to anything new and exciting? Stabby, Kid Angel, it is so much fun. Like, if you've never needle felted, like so not to plug again, but if you are new to needle felting and super curious, exclamation sheep, please throw my homegirl Black Sheep me to follow Saturday this weekend, 2 to 5 or 3 to 6, or 12 to 3 for Central. But yeah, I'll be on 3 o'clock Eastern over on Sheepy's channel. So join us there, throw follows, and come learn needle felting if you've never learned or you're curious. And if you want the supplies I use for needle felting, exclamation supplies. All you need is the stabby tool, the needles in case you break them, and the roving that you're stabbing, right? But yeah, exclamation supplies if you want what I use. That's what I'll be bringing on Saturday. It's nice to not have to lead the stream and you can just collab. The needle felted eyes turned out. Thank you, Connie. You know what? It's practice. I enjoy needle felting, but I'm a picky bitch. I'm just a picky bitch because I'm like, oh, I could do better. I could fill this out more. I could fill out the colors, whatever. I will say this song is not on my favorites, so let's kill that. That was a little too much. Some of these songs are shit. More stabby, yes. Gemini knows. Gemini knows. Have you only been doing that on stream all month, Gem? Your Grogu, your needle felted? Or are you like doing some sneaking it on the side? I don't know if you've only committed to doing this on stream. Let's try that. No, there's no exclamation stabby. Aurora, also, how are you? Can we skip past Saturday? No, Nymph. Why would I skip past Saturday? No, I need to do this. I'm not skipping that. No. Doing a bit of co-crafting, working on a dice bag gift for a friend's birthday. Oh shit, Connie, that sounds dope. That sounds so dope.